don't care if the game has silly cosmetics as long as it's fun. I'm not overconfident, I'm just better than you. What? That was one of the cringy voice lines from Battlefield 2042. One of the worst Battlefield titles ever made. How is that relevant? Battlefield 2042 was an okay-ish game to play. I didn't like a lot of the gaming mechanics, but it didn't fail because it was a bad game to play. It failed because it just wasn't fun or meeting the expectations of the consumer. Cosmetics are ingrained into video games nowadays. We can't avoid them and we can't stop them. In fact, it's actually how many games even make their money. Fortnite is a free-to-play game. They rely on cosmetics to make their money. Warframe's entire economy is relying on cosmetics. Your point? We already know there's going to be cosmetics coming in the next update, and this is fine because the cosmetics look similar to the setting they're trying to portray, which means it will not break immersion, and immersion is the key word here. Why does immersion matter in a game? It's just a video game. Lord of the Rings is one of the most influential fantasy stories of all time, and I guarantee you that fantasy setting becomes less enticing if you suddenly give Frodo a Glock. Don't you have an entire web series about a wizard pulling Glocks on wizards? Yes, and that's the rules of the world that I've established in my universe, but it would get broken immediately if I threw in aliens, wouldn't it? I guess. Helldivers 2 could be summed up as a silly horde shooter, but it takes itself seriously, even if it is satire. It's a satirical horde shooter, but it has multiple gameplay mechanics that make it closer to a milsim game, and it takes all of it seriously. COD doesn't take itself seriously anymore, and it's not just in the skins, it's in the very core gameplay mechanics. COD used to take itself seriously in the way it modeled its guns, for example, but now all the weapon models look sloppy and thrown together and made by people who have probably never even looked at a freedom spitter in their entire life. Well, that's not entirely true. Dude, you can't expect people who wanted to buy a grounded military shooter to stay when you add Nicki Minaj, American Dad, Beavis and Butthead, and make the guns shoot silly space effects. You can't expect the consumer to stay. But how else are companies supposed to appeal to every audience? A game made for everyone is a game made for no one. That is the studio motto of Arrowhead Studios, the developers of Helldivers 2. And despite the criticisms and controversies and litany of people who try to have problems with this game, they are still coming up with W's and fucking winning. Because they prioritize the setting they created and the immersion.